Hello YarnTubers, welcome back to Wanderlust Crochet with Dana and Benji right there. And today we are going to talk about some of the events that are quickly approaching, and there's going to be a giveaway. First, I want to give a shout out to the Arby's team member in Grantsville, Maryland at the pilot there who crocheted that great spider. Nice work. Okay, and what's going to happen today is we're going to talk about Crochet Heart. We're going to talk about what our little challenge is, monthly themed crochet along type challenge for November, even though it's already, the 17th. And we're going to talk about my progress on the Persian tiles blanket and Square and Share 26. So stick around for all of that. The first thing we're going to talk about is a video I did back in March called #CrochetHeart. And basically it was about doing projects, those projects that are just for you, that really, they kind of make your stomach do flip-flops. When you look at the picture, you just think, oh, I want to do that. Okay, so I came up with 4 rules. And it was, first of all, it has to, it's one of those patterns that evokes an emotional response. 2, there's no deadline. 3, boy, they're really shaking my truck. At the time of you crocheting it, it wouldn't really be for a gift or for sale. It is just for the joy of doing that project. And number 4, it is not a whip. You haven't started this yet. This is one of those that you think about. When you look at it, you're like, oh, I just don't have time for that. It's so wonderful because I got all these other things going on. So that's what Crochet Heart is all about. And I had tagged a bunch of other YouTubers, and I got the viewers to comment, the projects that really gets them going in the comments. And the whole point, not only to get you thinking about actually doing a project for yourself, but it was to, inspire everyone else. So I shouted out and tagged a whole list of people. And I ended up creating a real short playlist of not only the original video, but everyone else's videos who did this. So in that playlist is Carrie's Crochet and Craft, Christine's Craft Table, Roaming with Rover, and she did this Ruana, I think that's what it's called. She did a fabulous job on that. Carrie the Yarny Elephant, and Cynthia's Joyful Creations, and she did this sweater. And she's now on a second Crochet Heart project. Now, Cynthia and I had a conversation. She's really been trying to get me to do like a showcase, like show everybody's work. The problem is I'm a truck driver and I'm a procrastinator, and I'm like, okay, I'll do that. And then it never happened. So having a phone conversation with her, just recently, I told her, I said, I'm a little overwhelmed at the moment. It's kind of hard for me to keep up on all these things that I've started, right? And she asked if she could take over Crochet Heart. I'm like, yes, because she really took this to heart. She sets aside a certain amount of time every week so that she can work on those projects that really get to her. So there's a link down below to Cynthia's Joyful Creations, her playlist of Crochet Heart videos, lives, how she's presenting those. And so from now on, when you think about, I asked everybody to do like 4, pick out 4 patterns that really get you going like that. And if you finish them, to email me pictures of them. But now you're going to email Cynthia, and all that information is over on her channel. So that's the update on #CrochetHeart. Next, I want to discuss what our crochet theme over in Discord is going to be for November. Now, I realize we're halfway through November. That's on me. But what I've decided on is get ready for your next big project. Are you planning a large project for the year 2026? And if you are, now's the time to start deciding what your colors are going to be, start organizing that project, or just picking out what the project is going to be. I hear something. There's something over here. Anyway, so decide on your next big project. Join us over on Discord, because we're already talking about what we're going to do next year as a group for those who want to participate. And, just come over and talk to us and get encouraged by all of us on Discord. So one thing we're doing over on Discord is, Discord is a series of chat rooms. We have our main chat room, and then we have more specific topics for chat rooms. And this year we created a chat room called Mosaic Crochet Buddies. And that was great because now people have a place to specifically ask questions about Mosaic, share their work, share their ideas. And I've decided to kind of keep that going, you know, each year. Not that the Mosaic Crochet Buddies are going to expire or anything. We are still going to have that chat room, and that is specifically for anything Mosaic Crochet that you want to talk about, that you want to share, that you want to ask. So, but in 26, we have already started for 26 a new chat room for another more specific type of project, and it's called the Janie Crow Crochet Buddies, which means that in 2026 some of us want to be kind of like Stitch Buddies and crochet something, anything by Jane Crowfoot. And what I have chosen is the Persian Tiles blanket, which was, if you watched that other video of mine about Crochet Heart, that was one of my Crochet Heart patterns in that video. So here's what I've started to do. We've kind of got to jump on it. I mean, there are no hard and fast rules, right? So we've already got that chat room going, and so we're joining together and being buddies for any Jane Crowfoot pattern. And I want you guys to participate here on YouTube also. So I started experimenting. I have this bag of Stylecraft Special DK, and I have this other bag of Stylecraft Naturals Bamboo and Cotton. And I've been experimenting with colors. And I felt like, so here's the first experiment, and I stopped at this round. I think it's round 10, I'm not sure. And I'm not crazy about this. It just hasn't hit the mark yet, right? So then I went to a more pink and blue and purple version, and it's getting closer. It's getting there. And I went through to, I don't know what round I went through to, but it's not there yet. But this last one that I tried, now this one is actually, these two are both Stylecraft Special DK. This one is Special DK and the Bamboo and Cotton, so it's a mixture. I was just experimenting with the colors, and it's getting closer. It's getting closer. It's still not quite right, but this is really moving along the lines of what I'm going to want for that blanket. So I have ordered like all kinds of colors, one ball each of, I think, 17 different colors from Wool Warehouse of the Stylecraft Naturals Bamboo and Cotton. So I am going to be experimenting when I get home in a month. A little under a month, I'm going to be home, and I'm going to be experimenting more with color to determine exactly what color that blanket's going to be. So in honor of our 26th theme, you know, not really a timeline, of Jane Crowfoot patterns, here's the giveaway. So I want you to check out the links in the description box for Jane Crowfoot's, either her Etsy store or her Ravelry store, and decide what pattern you would really like. I am going to give away a Jane Crowfoot pattern, because Ravelry, you may not like Ravelry, so you go to Etsy or vice versa, and just tell me in the comments which one you really like. And what I'll do is I will choose a winner in my next video, a week or two. I'll try not to go so long between videos, and the winner will get a Jane Crowfoot pattern. Now, there are some patterns like the Sunshine and Flowers blanket, which is actually done in rows. That one's only written in UK, I believe. So pay attention to that and decide whether, like, if you want Sunshine and Kisses and all those parts to that pattern, just know that comes in UK terms only. But patterns like the Persian Tiles and the Fruit Garden, those come in UK and US terms. So comment down below which of Jane Crowfoot's patterns are your favorites, and I will choose a winner. Okay, one more thing. As of this morning, when this video went up, we only have 3 spots left for our 2026 Square and Share Crochet Square swap. So you guys need to get over and join Discord and go to the Square swap chat room and say I'm in, and we'll be picking the final 3. It's going to be, that group is going to be filled up immediately. So this is your final warning, and if you haven't heard about it, I'm going to read this to you. I'm so excited to announce that we'll be hosting another Crochet Square Swap, and this time it's happening exclusively inside the Wanderlust Crochet Discord community. Here's the plan. Color palette voting. We'll vote on several color palette options in January and February until we narrow it down to one final palette for the swap. Swap details. Only 12 swappers will be accepted. And like I said, there's only 3 spots left. Each person will crochet 72 squares, each 6 inches square after blocking. You'll send 6 squares each to the other 11 members, and you'll receive 66 squares in return, plus keep 6 of your own, equals 72 total. You can use any yarn, but please avoid animal fibers due to allergies. US lower 48 only. Sorry about that. Okay, so the swap start date is March 1st, 2026. Mailing deadline is August 31st, 2026. So you have 6 months to make those squares and get them mailed out. Request to join between November 15th and December 10th, 2025. We're not going to go more than a day or two until this group is filled up. If you'd like to be considered for one of the 12 spots, you'll need to be part of our Discord server. Request to join will be accepted from November 15th to December 10th on Discord, or until the group of 12 is filled up. Okay, important reminder about swap participation and postage costs. Just a quick note before we move forward, if you're considering joining, please be aware that there will be mailing costs involved. Each participant will be sending to 11 other swappers, and that'll be 6 squares. So you'll need to budget for postage as part of participating. Now, I completely understand that postage can add up. But this swap is about building community and creating something beautiful together. Okay, let's talk about postage real quick. So let's say it's 6. What did somebody say? Tell me in the comments if you know. Lori, Armchair Chef. So you've got 6 granny squares. You know, it doesn't weigh very much, but let's say postage is somewhere between $6 and $8 a package. I would spread that out over the 6 months. There are people who are talking about already over in that chat room that they're either going to save $8 a month up until it's time to ship them all out, or they're going to like ship 6 out every month or ship a couple of packages out every month. So they spread it out along the 6 months. So, you know, there are ways to get around it. Some people they just can't afford that. It's not in their budget. I completely understand. I just want you guys to all be aware that there will be a fairly significant postage cost involved, because postage goes up and it never goes down. So seems to me we need a little revamping on our whole postage system. But okay, so we got that out of the way. Okay. So what you'll find is a square swap chat room in the Discord server, and then for the Square and Share 26, the ones that have actually been accepted, they are in a private chat room so that we can kind of keep things organized. So, but you can talk about square swaps in that open chat room all you want if you're not part of this current swap, but those of us who are actually participating will be in the private one. Okay. Here's the color palette voting schedule that's going to happen January and February. So every Thursday morning from January 1st through February 19th, we will vote on 4 color palettes a week. And each week it's going to be a theme. So that's 8 weeks of voting. And then on the 9th week, we will have 8 different color palettes, the ones that won the weeks before, for all of those who are participating, for them to vote on. And we'll end up with 1 color palette. Yes, so the winning palette from each week will move on to the finals. On February 26th, we'll have our grand finale vote to choose the official swap palette. Let me make sure I got this. So there are 5 Thursdays in January. There are 4 Thursdays in February. So 5 plus the first 3 Thursdays in February, that's 8 weeks that we will be voting on. And then that 4th Thursday in February, which is February 26th, we'll have our grand finale vote to choose the official swap palette, and that will be shared that will be shared out on March 1st. And that's when we can get to crocheting. Now, here are the themes. Week 1, Pantone Color of the Year, which we believe is going to be tranquil, transformative teal. And it's gorgeous. Hopefully that's what it's going to be. And then week 2, there will be 4 color palettes to vote on in a winter theme. Week 3 is spring. Week 4 is summer. Week 5 is patriotic. Week 6 is autumn. Week 7 is Christmas. And here's what's going to happen for week 8. Before we start voting, like within the next 30 days, those who are participating are going to be uploading color palettes that they've gone out and found that they just love. And I'm going to put them all in a Pinterest board, and I'm going to choose 4 of them for us to vote on week 8. So, community favorites is what that last theme is going to be. I mean, doesn't this sound like so much fun? I'm so excited for this swap. The fact that we're keeping it very small, I think will help out with, some people, getting involved. We've had people completely forget that they were signed up for this and couldn't understand why all these squares were coming. Some pretended like they forgot. Some just decided at the last minute, I'm not doing this. Like, too bad. A lot of different things happened. One person, I think, had a heart attack. I mean, things happen. So, we don't want to be like a police force, but the reason we're keeping it small is hopefully we'll have fewer problems with this swap. So I'm very excited. I want to know in the comments, not only, what do you think of this swap? Do you think you're going to try to join this one? Or do you think you're going to try to join the next one? We'll do another one next year, probably. And also, don't forget to comment down below your favorite Jane Crowfoot pattern. The links to her Etsy store and her Ravelry store are in the description box. And I will be choosing a winner from one of those comments of one of Janie Crow's patterns. They're so gorgeous. They are just so gorgeous. So tell me what you think. Talk to me in the comments. Join us over on Discord, whether you're going to, join any of these things or not. We have a lot of fun over there. That community is getting more and more engaging, and it's just small enough. It's pretty intimate. Everybody kind of knows each other, and I just want to see more of you over there. Okay? Okay, I love you guys. Bye.